I'm a man of will and tears.
Here's a paradox that broke every rule in rock history. The Rolling Stones didn't just survive the 70s. They weaponized chaos itself. Tax exile, Nazi bunkers, and a zipper that destroyed vinyl. These are 10 weird facts about the Rolling Stones in the 1970s. And the bonus involves Keith's father and a very strange substance. Plug in. This decade's about to get dangerous. Number 1. The Stones' greatest album exists because of the British taxmen. In 1971, the band was broke despite being millionaires. The UK's 93% tax rate meant earning £1 million left you with just $70,000. Unable to pay what they owed, the Rolling Stones fled Britain as financial refugees. This desperate escape to France would create Exile on Main Street, their masterpiece born from tax evasion. The government tried to destroy them. Instead, they created rock history. Number 2. They recorded in a Nazi Führer bunker. Keith Richards rented Villeneuve-Côte in France, not knowing its dark past. The basement had been a Gestapo headquarters during World War II. Keith described recording there as like trying to make a record in the Führer bunker. The space was dank, Germanic, and oppressive. With no proper studio nearby, they parked a mobile recording truck outside and ran cables to the basement. The haunted atmosphere seeped into every track, creating the raw, dark sound of Exile. Number 3. The Sticky Fingers zipper destroyed the albums it was meant to sell. Andy Warhol designed the cover with a real, working zipper on jeans. It was provocative, brilliant, and completely impractical. When albums were stacked for shipping, the zippers scraped and damaged the vinyl inside. Record stores had to ship them partially unzipped to prevent destruction. Spain's Franco regime banned it entirely, replacing it with a can of fingers and treacle. Only the Stones would create packaging that attacked its own product. Number 4. Their iconic tongue logo came from a Hindu goddess of destruction. That famous lips and tongue? Not based on Mick's mouth. In 1970, Jagger commissioned art student John Pache and gave him an unusual inspiration, Kali, the Hindu goddess. Her fierce expression and extended tongue symbolized defiance against authority. Pache simplified the goddess into the sleek, rebellious logo we know today. The Stones didn't just want a brand, they wanted an ancient symbol of destruction and rebirth. Number 5. They invented the modern rock spectacle with a flatbed truck, May 1975. Journalists gather for a routine press conference in New York. Suddenly, the Stones appear on a flatbed truck, blasting Brown Sugar down Fifth Avenue. Mick throws tour dates from a garbage pail to the scrambling crowd below. This 8-minute stunt birthed stadium rock as we know it. Their subsequent tour featured a $1.6 million hydraulic Lotus stage, inflatable phalluses, and Jagger on a trapeze. Rock concerts would never be the same. But wait, the chaos gets personal. Number 6. A blind fan saved Keith Richards from 7 years in prison. February 19. Canadian police find 22 grams of heroin in Keith's Toronto hotel room. The charge: trafficking, carrying a minimum 7-year sentence. The band's reaction? Bill Wyman and Ron Wood scored heroin to prevent Keith's withdrawal. But at trial, something miraculous happened. A blind fan approached the judge, explaining how Keith always ensured her safety at Canadian shows. The judge gave Keith a suspended sentence and ordered a charity concert. Keith called her his blind angel, who saved his life. Number 7. Their billboard sparked a national feminist uprising. 1976's Black and Blue promotion featured a bruised, tied-up woman on Sunset Boulevard. The caption read, "I'm black and blue from the Rolling Stones. Women against violence against women, attacked with red paint," writing, "This is a crime against women." The protests were so effective that Atlantic Records removed the billboard and implemented sensitivity training. The Stones apologized publicly. The Anything Goes 60s had officially ended. Social consciousness had arrived, and even rock's bad boys had to answer. Number 8. The 1972 tour created partying like a rock star. The Stones Touring Party, or STP Tour, was their return after Altamont's disaster. They traveled by private jet with writers like Truman Capote documenting the chaos. The tour featured a 4-day orgy at the Playboy Mansion, fan riots, and a bomb destroying their equipment in Montreal. Mick and Keith were jailed in Rhode Island. The Boston mayor had to bail them out to prevent riots. This wasn't just a tour, it was the birth of rock star mythology itself. Number 9. Keith Richards removed a string to create their signature sound. While everyone else added complexity, Keith subtracted. He removed the low E string from his guitar, playing with just 5 strings in open G tuning. This allowed him to play full major chords with one finger. You hear it on Brown Sugar, Honky Tonk Women, and Tumbling Dice. The technique embodied his philosophy: use the least amount necessary to achieve maximum impact. Genius through simplicity. Number 10. the world believed Keith snorted his father's ashes. In 2007, Keith told NME magazine he'd snorted his dad's cremated remains mixed with cocaine. The story went global instantly. Everyone believed it because, well, it's Keith Richards. Days later, a spokesman clarified it was an April Fool's joke. Keith had actually scattered the ashes under an oak tree. But here's the thing. The lie became more powerful than the truth. When your reputation makes any story believable, you've transcended mortality itself. Hey, pretty wild so far, right? If you're enjoying this deep dive into rock's most dangerous decade, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Because in a minute we hit the bonus fact that nobody talks about. Trust me, it only gets weirder from here. Bonus fact, the Stones almost died recording their cocaine album. During 1973's Goat's Head Soup sessions in Jamaica, the band was surrounded by political violence and voodoo warnings. Armed guards protected the studio while local dealers provided pure cocaine by the kilo. Producer Jimmy Miller was so high he forgot to record entire songs. Mick Taylor would disappear for days. Keith later admitted they were skating on thin ice with the devil. The album they barely remember making went triple platinum. The chaos wasn't a side effect, it was the main ingredient. Everything about the 70s Stones was borrowed time made eternal. But wait, before we close out this journey through rock's most chaotic decade, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. We drop new music mysteries every week, and you won't want to miss what we're uncovering next. If the Stones shaped your taste, changed your life, or meant something to you, drop a like and subscribe for more untold stories from music history. Tell us in the comments which fact shocked you most. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the greatest art comes from the edge of disaster.